Hello. It's 9:45 here in London. I'm TK and this is Coach on the Rocks. Lovely to see you and thank you for tuning in. As always, I do appreciate your comments. Let me know when you're coming from and what is it like where you are. So today, as always, I would like to talk about leadership, especially about, how leaders behave and what is it that we can do to lead better. So as a leadership coach, what I do see with many of my clients, organizations, individuals, be it leaders themselves or people that look up to others for leadership. In fact, most leaders have bosses. Is yeah, many people feel like there's something else they want, right? They want to grow. They would like to have opportunities for growth, but there's a bit of a challenge. From what I see, it seems that there people that I are looking up for leadership are holding their keys for growth, right? So, if you want something, you want more respect, more responsibilities, you want to work on this particular project, you want to get trained, you want so many things to be able to grow. Usually, the person that is able to give you that, if you work in an organization, is your leader, your boss, your line manager, or if you're a leader, same thing applies. So seems easy. Just ask for it, but it's not that simple for many people. All right. So even though myself and other coaches would definitely recommend if I am working with someone that they want growth and they need something, I'll help them to realize what it is, formulate it, and come up with an action plan to get there. That's my job as a coach. But somehow, I work with great people, and it's usually hard, right? If that would be so easy, people would have done it by themselves. And many people do, but many people struggle. Um, if you have the opportunity to work with a coach like myself, that's great. But if you don't, like, it's not that easy. Thinking about it myself, I haven't always found it easy myself to ask what I wanted. I remember situations where I really wanted something. I had to make a huge hullabaloo about it, and but whenever I asked, nothing wrong came out of it. Having said that, um, in spite all the cultures or the individual, stances, and you could say that some people that are more gregarious find it easier to ask, and in some cultures it's just a bit easier. For the majority of us, it's challenging. So I would say do it. But as a leadership coach, there's something different I wanted to talk about, which is as a leader that has people that look up to you for leadership, I think you will do quite well to make it easier for people to approach you asking for what they want. Okay? Because the whole challenge with this dynamic of people asking you for what they want, is difficult also because of you, the leader. Um, I'm sure you're busy, right? And I'm if you're here watching my show, you might be a great leader. You might have conversations with your people, but I'm guessing they might hesitate when it comes to asking you for what they want. And if not, hey, let us know how you did that. But I'll give you some suggestions myself. I think what's really important is that it's your job to make sure people feel comfortable to express themselves and their needs, especially when it comes to growth. Right? There's many ways you can do that. I think you know, you can obviously encourage, you can ask, you can give examples. But I think the more important thing is make sure you are congruent. Now, ideally, I would say that people will ask you for what they want if they see you really mean it when you say you have this open door policy. And the way to prove it is to say, look, when I've been in your situation in this organization and I wanted something, and don't have to give like criticize the employee for not doing that. We can say, well, if you ever need anything, if you want growth, if you want anything, it's just important that you ask me because I'm very open to it. And in fact, I've asked my bosses multiple times, and, I understand what it is to ask. And even saying that proves that you're open to it and you understand the predicament someone's coming to. And it's an interesting one. Now, you will have situations where your employees would think, oh man, he's so busy. He might be approachable, but do I want to bother myself or himself with that or herself with that? So it's important for you to reinforce that as a leader. By reinforce that, I mean making sure you're approachable. Because one would say that it's important due to a reason that without growth, your employees will become resentful, frustrated. They might seek their opportunities elsewhere or check out. Would be quite a shame. And some of you, many of you, who knows, hopefully not my viewers, but if you're here viewing me for the first time or curious to grow, you might think to yourself, well, TK, that's great, but to be honest, my employees will just be needy and will just ask for stuff all the time. And to that, I would say, well, if they're asking for growth, it's actually to your benefit because, well, they will grow and the team that you're leading will grow with them. You will grow because they grow. You will become more successful because they become more successful. Part of the success is because of your great leadership. Just a part. Obviously, they're doing it for themselves, but that's important to consider. Another thing would be like, oh, TK, no, they will ask for more trainings, this and that, and I can't give everything to everyone. They just like, you give them the finger, they'll take the whole hand. And my suggestion or my question to you would be, what would be possible if you actually played in the same team as your employees, as people looking up to you? By that, I mean, if it's really transactional and it's, they have their own goals, you have their own goals, and it's like back and forth, I think it's a bit of a waste, but it's your choice. I understand that. And, finally, many would say, oh, Tika, I'm just too busy for that. You have to do this, that, and so on and so forth. And so I would say, well, probably you're busy with useless meetings, which probably will need to be another episode of Coach on the Rocks. And imagine what would be possible if you could really delegate. If you feel like you can trust the people that look up to you for leadership. And possibly they might even want that. I mean, it's very probable that they might want growth and more responsibility. People are just like that. People want to do a good job. Don't think about them as, something that this theory X and theory Y. I don't think it works anymore. Especially, sadly, if you believe in theory X, you might have a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is one of our podcasts actually about that, leading with agility. But overall, I would say, really consider the fact that, you need to be open or you will benefit from being open to people asking you for growth. Really important stuff. And I think this will enhance your leadership, make your people happier, and overall, I think you'll be more successful. And I also hope that watching this particular show makes you more successful too and gives you something to think about in the morning or whenever you watch this live or this recording. With that, all the best to you. Have a great Tuesday. And as always, I will see you tomorrow at 9:45 London time for the next episode of Coach on the Rocks. Bye bye.